Welcome back, everybody, to Bite Size Thursday, and a subsidiary of Off Slate Media. Today, we are watching Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Episode 3. Jared, what is it called?
Ramona Rents a Video.
Ooh, I remember I really loved this episode.
I know why.
No, I'm not dirty like that. You dirty, dirty man.
It's the only thing I remember from it because of Weirdos Online.
Rule 34s.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's directly referential to the original movie. I L-word this episode. Lesbian? No, the other L-word. Lesbians?
I lesbians this movie.
No, I do remember this being a really fun one.
I believe it's because they're in their fight. They get like knocked into the cassettes, and like they get knocked through the different movies. There's a part of me that wants to understand like how that works in universe, but also it's Scott Pilgrim, so just yeah.
It reminded me a lot of a cartoon I really liked as a kid. I can't remember the title of it, but the premise is the characters are sort of like hopping back and forth between different Nintendo games. Like they're in-world, and it took a whole bunch of the characters from the different series, game series, and pulled them together. And it sort of reminds me of what they're doing here, just hopping universe to universe.
It's Cartoon All-Stars Unite, isn't it? To tell you not to take drugs.
No,
it's not that.
That was a separate. This was
Yes.
separate thing. But I
believe what you're talking about. I'm going to say to you, we are so much older than you.
Which is funny because that's from like the late 80s.
Hmm.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
I'll show you after we're done. It's like a bunch of different cartoon characters unite to tell you not to do drugs. It's like a
So
PSA.
it's Dare.
Eventually, but with like Bugs Bunny and Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
It's known for being really, really, as the kids would say, cringe. Because drugs are cool.
Yeah, we should take them. All of them.
Yep, there we go. We brought it back.
And in any case, also cool, just, video stores.
They don't exist anymore.
They do in a much smaller capacity than they certainly did. I dearly, dearly miss our local video store. Mammoth Video, R.I.P.
Yeah, we had a Mammoth Video in Greenville for a long time. That was my favorite one to go to after it replaced the Blockbuster in that space.
My favorite thing about our Mammoth was at some point in the mid or late 90s, Blockbuster tried to buy them out. They said no. So Blockbuster's like, we're going to exercise our big corporate muscle, and we're going to open up across the street from you and put you out of business.
That's what happened in Greenville, too.
That Blockbuster went out of business in less than 2 years because everybody still went to Mammoth.
Remember when Blockbuster was going out of business and they had those giant, I don't want to say giant movie sets. They had like really cheap Blu-rays.
Everything must go.
And we just went there and just bought everything.
They weren't just going out of business. They were out of business. That was like the bankruptcy liquidation sale where, yeah, we got like 8 Blu-rays for $1, something deeply irresponsible.
I missed that Blockbuster right next to your office.
In any case, getting back on track, video rental stores, I dearly miss, and I love just the setting of the episode is a large part of the fun. It's just the nostalgia of it.
I brought up, I think it was last week, about writing about Boogie Nights. One of the posts you have to do for a class, like you post something and people talk to you on like the forum, and one of them was about how the experience of going to video stores is sorely missed, because my topic I picked to talk about streaming algorithms and how everything's geared towards what you've watched, not necessarily what you want to watch. And someone brought up in the comments about, oh yeah, back in the days you'd go there and it's a whole experience, and you don't have as many choices, but of the ones you have, you actually can like hold it in your hand, and you're a lot of times with people, and there's just a whole aura about going somewhere. It's a social gathering of sorts that is gone now. Because
you could say that about pretty much anything that was once physical that is now not. Like we were talking, I got a new guitar pedal in the mail, and we were talking about how it doesn't have a physical instruction booklet, and you scan a QR code and you go to their website where it's all hosted, and it's like, I miss that physicality of it. I miss the experience of like reading a thing to learn about it.
Well, you don't even go to the store anymore to get the pedal.
Yeah.
That was a whole trip. Now it's just you ordered it and it came to your house.
And now, so like pedals specifically, like a lot of them, because they're so mass produced, there are what they call boutique companies. They're called boutique pedals. It's not a name brand. It's just
that's boutique pedals.
That's what people.
That's amazing.
That's what people refer to them on as the internet. They like this specific pedal was a old blood noise experience or experiment. You order the pedal and then they make it. So like this pedal is like, you know, it's painted on. It's a piece of art, but then like the serial number on it is written on the back, like handwritten on the back, and then it's kind of undercut by the experience of opening up. Oh, scan this QR code to find the instructions, and I'm sure if I do that, it won't really go to a booklet. It'll go to a video that explains how to use the pedal, and I miss the physicality of things.
And one of the great things about the video store, too, is not only are you walking through the aisles, you know, you might be drawn to something because of the cover art, you pick it up and you look at it. At the time, you know, you don't have your cell phone in your pocket where you can just go online and look it up. Is this movie any good? What is this movie really about? How was it received at the time? No, you have the video art, you have the cover art, and you've got the description on the back. And conservatively, 30% of the time, the cover art was a liar.
Yeah.
And that's half the fun.
Painting. It's like a painting of something looking really cool, and then you watch it, and that never happens.
Or it's got, like, top billing, such and such actor, starring, and it's like they're in 3 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
And
Jared, tell your story. Tell your story. Tell your story. Tell your story.
Okay, so there I was. I'm with him. I'm with Aaron, who you've probably met before. Was Aaron in your wedding, Jake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember Aaron.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, he does lots
Actually,
of this on
all
this
of
show,
the people in this story were in my wedding.
Okay, so you remember Ryan as well.
Sure.
So we're all we're going to see 2014 Godzilla, the American one that launched the MonsterVerse, and we're driving to a theater near here called Celebration North. I notice on the big giant poster hanging from the IMAX part of the building that it says "and Bryan Cranston," but all the promotional stuff is surrounding him because this is a year after Breaking Bad ended. So he's like top of the mountain right now, and all the trailers had him being the main character. And then all I said was, "Why does it say and Bryan Cranston? I thought he was the main character." And Ryan like chewed me out. He just yelled at me like, "Jared, shut up!" And he just like went on this like rant about me being me or something. And I'm sitting in the backseat like, what? What did I do? I just said, wait, why is he? I thought he was the main character.
Not to go off on too much of a side tangent, but that's a whole rabbit hole I fell down once about how people are billed in opening credits of TV series. There's like really strict union rules around who just gets sequentially listed versus who gets a and credit or who gets a with credit. And I think the context I originally heard, it was on a podcast, and it was specifically in the context of Gilmore Girls and how the opening credits, and with Edward Herman, I think, was the grandfather. He's in every single episode. He's not in it really any more or less than a lot of the rest of the main cast. Why does he get the with? And it was all, I think, a pay scale issue.
You could say a lot of their stars were a bit hollow.
I'll allow it, but you're on thin ice.
It's the only thing I know about Gilmore Girls.
Nailed it.
Dude, that girl's in 27 Dresses. And also Breaking Bad.
All right, tied it back together.
There we go.
Tied it back to a side tangent, but again, I'll allow it.
What's her name?
Are you talking Jane in Breaking Bad? Jessica Jones? Is that who you talking about?
Is that her too?
She's Jessica Jones, yeah.
I
What
never
is
realized
her
that
name?
either.
Kristen Ritter?
Jessica
Yeah.
Jones is Kristen Ritter.
Kristen Ritter. That's the girl that ODs in the second season of
Correct,
Breaking Bad.
but I'm not remembering her from Gilmore Girls.
She is in Gilmore Girls. She's the main one of the two.
No.
That's Alexis Bledel, isn't it?
Oh.
And Lauren Graham.
Rory, right?
Mhm.
It's Lorelai and Rory.
Hold on. I
It's
got to check myself now because I'm pretty sure.
Lauren Graham. I saw Heather Graham is in a movie out right now, and I was like, wait, that's not Gilmore. That's Lauren Graham. Heather Graham. Okay, I know Heather Graham. I know them both.
Jake, what you might be thinking of is Kristen Ritter had a recurring bit as Steve Guttenberg's daughter on Veronica Mars.
That might be it. I can see how I would confuse Veronica Mars and Gilmore Girls.
Is that the detective one?
It sure is.
Okay, then what's the McBeal one?
Ally McBeal?
Yeah, what's Ally McBeal?
She was a lawyer.
No, you're thinking of
Same
Boston
thing.
Legal.
The Practice? We should
No.
watch. We're just going to keep doing this.
LA Law.
NCISLA.
Spin City.
I think
I
we're
love
done
that
here.
show.
We should watch Ramona renting a video because we're just going to keep going. So we might as well keep going after we watch the episode.
Oh, sorry. I need to prove myself either right or wrong.
Do you
here.
want to prove it after we watch the
Yeah,
episode?
yeah. Let's take off. Welcome back, everybody. We just watched episode 3 of Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Ramona rents a video?
Yes.
Okay. I forgot how much I love this show. It keeps reminding me of that. I especially like it because I had forgotten what it did to kind of like heal her or fix her as a character, because like if you look at the original source material, she's like that type of girl that is like, oh yeah, all the guys like her because she's into video games and she's cool and aloof and
Manic Pixie Dream Girl type.
yeah. And then like this, like I think does a real good job of making her a human and giving her some space to develop and heal, as well as give us looks into characters that we didn't get.
I think this fixes a lot of the problems with Roxy as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know, at least through a modern lens, as the younger generations are visiting the film, one of the biggest criticisms is how they handle that character. And I think this goes a long way towards repairing the less than ideal portrayal in the film of the character generally and the relationship between the two of them. It treats it with more seriousness.
Oh yeah, because in the movie they talk about how she was just like an experiment or
Sexy
something
face.
like that.
It minimizes it. It's a plot device. It's this is more real and lived in as an actual relationship.
Would you say that the way that Roxy ends the fight with the making out with Kim and then asking about the boss, would you say that undercuts it doing that?
In the sense that it plays into the predatory lesbian stereotype?
That,
or in what?
that, but also just lessens the seriousness of it.
No, I mean, I think that's just who the character is. I don't think that's a commentary on
Who the character
anything in
is.
particular.
Horny AF.
Well, you know. I will mention that during the break, I also double-checked. The show I was struggling to remember earlier was Captain N, the Game Master.
Captain N, the Game Master.
Anyway, that's neither
What about
here
the
nor
Page
there.
Master?
Different thing altogether.
That's his brother. His brother's in this show. Yeah, because that's Macaulay, right?
Yeah.
In the Page Master show, yeah.
He's not in this episode, actually.
No,
He
he was.
wasn't.
He was.
Oh, you're
at the
right.
beginning,
You're right. You're
in
right.
the
You're right.
coffee shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say back on the lesbian stuff. That's a weird way to go. But couple things. Like one, it's interesting where that stereotype comes from. I thought I read about it once where, because I've talked to people who are lesbians or lesbian adjacent, and they talk about how the forceful lesbian trope is overdone, and yet, like we know a lot of stereotypes, there's a reason it exists. Not that makes it okay to use, but it is like, it's that double take you do of, there are people who are lesbians who act similar to that, but it does become a reoccurring trope. And the other thing, I lost it. Oh man, I had it.
What's
the
quote from Up in the Air? I don't stereotype, I generalize. It's faster.
Yeah. Which Anna Kendrick's in Up in the Air, and she's also in this
There
show.
we go.
Yeah. What was the
Wow,
other
there really
thing?
are a lot of people related to the Scott Pilgrim property.
Yeah. And it was before. That's it. I got it back.
Up in the Air was before this, I thought.
Yeah, before
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, like
But-
a year before,
Yeah.
right?
What I was also getting to is I also read that when pre-production started on the movie, because as you've mentioned, the last book came out after the movie, but I think they started working on the movie like a couple books before.
Mm-hmm.
Tracks.
So, and I think he said the sexy phase line that Scott says in the movie, I think Edgar Wright wrote, and then Brian Lee O'Malley took and put in the book, because there's like commentary from them saying how at a certain point during pre-production he'd take some of the lines and things that the movie was going to have and injected them into some of the later books.
I don't remember specifically that line in the book, but I also think that the relationship between, well, number one, the relationships between the X's and Ramona in the books are altogether not very much there. It's very much about Scott and Ramona's relationship and very much about the fights. So I don't remember anything like that, but I don't remember thinking, oh, wow, that doesn't take that relationship very seriously.
Yeah.
In the same way that I guess in the opposite way that I thought maybe like the handling of Patel's relationship with her was kind of, I don't know about minimized, but like not serious.
Which is, I think, is the point of having him be first. This is the first one.
Well,
it didn't mean as much as these others, but the whole point of the X's is they can't let go. Where she runs away, they hold on. And that juxtaposition is kind of the whole big other conflict thing in the source material. And the movie, it's a little harder to do that because you don't have that time. Like you say, the fourth book is all about Scott's backstory and about how he misremember. There's a lot of stuff going on with all these arcs. And
not to spoil anything, I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't familiarized yourself with the book in some capacity, but the whole point of the fourth book and like a part of the fifth book is dealing with the fallout of the fact that Scott is effectively either cheating on Ramona with Knives or cheating on Knives with Ramona, or however you want to spin that. And like there is in that story actual fallout from it, and like with the movie, it doesn't feel like there's gonna be any of that, or it doesn't feel like any of that, because there's a moment where Knives says it to Ramona, and it's like, oh no, and then they just got to keep moving because the movie can only be 2 hours.
Isn't it? In the movie builds it up as they can't have a relationship until he defeats all the X's, whereas in the comics, they are dating, and they have bumps in the road because the honeymoon phase of the initial excitement is gone pretty quickly, and then it's them having to navigate being adults in a relationship, and that's why they both have reservations and things they need to get through because of that. I think Ramona even takes like a break from their relationship for a bit, and then isn't there?
No, okay, so the way that works, I believe that is a result of the whole cheating thing, but it only lasts like a handful of pages. The book moves very quickly.
Yeah, isn't there also like wrong camera? Isn't there also he like pleads with her not to break up with him, but then he defeats the twins and he thinks he saves Kim from the twins and he thinks that's gonna solve everything, and then when he gets back she disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads to the last book.
Yep.
Okay. It's all coming back. Then I read the synopsis for some of them, so it's like, okay, I think I'm remembering like the panels in my head, and like she's like sitting on the bed and she's been glowing this whole time, right? And then she just disappears. But in the movie she goes back to Gideon, but in the books Gideon doesn't even know where she is.
Yeah. Well, in the movie, the fallout from Knives saying he cheated or him admitting to it finally is she leaves and ends up under Gideon's control, which is how they jump between the books.
Yeah, is Envy the one that's actually under his control in the books at the end or something? He's got control
I
of all
don't remember.
his exes.
Do you remember?
Not offhand.
I don't think Envy is under his control because Envy is dating Todd.
I thought it was something where he has like control of Envy in the last book. Envy's another one that backstory gets nerfed in the movie because there's no time.
Oh yeah.
Because it's the one scene from the book of backstage is really everything, because that whole Envy is kind of the reason for a lot of Scott's issues, and not her fault. It's how he handled things and how he can't get over it. What's the line in the book? It's like, she's like, do you remember our relationship? And he says like, I remember you broke my heart, and that's like the only thing he remembers. Or something like that. It's a very important character that just, there's no time. So I don't remember what happens to Envy in this show, because I know she has to show back up. I don't remember.
I do. She's in the next episode, because the next episode is the Lucas Lee and Todd episode. I believe.
So. Yeah, I think so.
I will say that from this episode, the fight through the video store and getting pushed between the different films was as much fun as I had remembered. And I didn't go back to pause it, but I think I noticed something this time I hadn't appreciated before, which is at the beginning of their lengthy brawl sequence, I'm pretty sure the first video shelf they knock over has prominently displayed in the middle of it the video cassette for They Live, which is particularly funny because that famously has that long drawn-out fist fight between Rowdy Roddy Piper and, is it Keith David?
That sounds right. I've actually never seen it.
Oh, it's good fun. It's good fun.
That's the glasses one, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay, where he sees who's not human through the glasses. That's right.
That's the one.
Another thing I will say is we haven't really appreciated it so far, and I know we're only 3 episodes in, but it feels like we've been talking about it for a lot longer. Just how good the animation is in this show. Just like we were talking about the opening is a little bit different in its particle effects every single time. Like the way the yellow line for Scott moves on the screen is a little bit different each time. But then like the fight, before the fight when Roxy draws her swords, and in very anime style, the swords cut the lights above her and the sparks like shower down, and just like to watch that and to like it, I don't know if it was hand drawn, but it has a very hand drawn feel about it, and I miss that.
Yeah, I love the blending of the different animation types, because sometimes it's like the side scroller game. Like what bit were those games?
16-bit.
16-bit side scroller, and then it'll be the more anime style. And there's a lot of aspect ratio changes, just like the movie does too. And then of course the paneling. What's the gap between the paneling? Is that gutter? Are those called gutters?
That sounds right.
And like there's a moment where Roxy's like leaning and her hand was over the gutter, and I was gonna say something, and then she straight up breaks across. I go, well, I don't need to say anything because she's literally going to cross it. But
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the aspect ratio changes. I didn't notice that until this episode, but I think like all of the flashbacks, it goes to 4:3.
Yeah.
And no, it's good fun. I like to the during, in particular, the fight sequences, but at various points throughout, they've got the onomatopoeic displays of sound effects where it's like thwack, like sort of Batman style, and like fully a third of them are ludicrous sounds. It reminds me a lot of, and this is a little bit of a deep cut, but the author's notes on the inside flap of like the omnibus edition of Batman versus Aliens. He's talking about why he loves comics so much, and a large part of it is the ludicrous sound effects, including a Spider-Man comic he remembers reading where a bomb goes off and the sound effect is Fwaloom.
Fwaloom.
Did I ever give that back to you?
There's no way of knowing.
It's interesting too, the comic book medium. Okay, you can't actually make the sounds because you're hearing it in your head, and then someone makes a point about like in the movie they still do the things on screen, but you can hear them too. So it's like putting emphasis on it, and it's an example of what's it? Transmedia, not transmedia, trans with one word,
Understood.
Where it's like different mediums in one. And then there were times I think the sound effect word was on screen, but I didn't hear anything. And I go, that's kind of like going backwards. Like we add the sound with the letters. Now we're keeping the letters and getting rid of the sound in a visual and audio medium. And that's really interesting how they're doing it. If anything, it makes it more fun because it's like we're reading the sound and hearing it in our heads, but it's not actually heard on screen. And I thought this is fun. There's just so many small things that are fun. The Science Saru is the studio. I had this pulled up because Jake and I, when we watched Star Wars Visions, they did a couple Visions episodes. Jake, if you remember.
That might be why I recognize the style as much as I do.
Oh, I lost it. They did Akakiri and Toby.
Isn't Akakiri the first one?
No, that's the... Oh, what is it?
Toby was the one we didn't like.
Yeah, Toby was fine. It's one of our lesser favorite ones. Akakiri was this one, which I also don't think we liked. The animation was good, but it was like the really rushed story where they like go on like that mountain journey with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then let me type in Toby real quick. And then there's Toby. And there's a picture of Rey with Toby's face in front of her.
Photoshop for the masses is wonderful sometimes.
It really is. But I decided to shout out Science Saru because their work is always good. Their work on this show is exceptional. They've done other things. They've done some like specials for Adventure Time and OKKO Let's Be Heroes. There's a couple movies I think I saw in here that I've seen that they've done. The Colors Within a couple years ago, that was good. Inuo, I think, is another one I hear good things about. Ride Your Wave. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl.
Sure.
If you've seen that, that's a hoot and a half.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how good it is, but the animation is stellar, and that main character is so funny.
Oh, yeah. I would love to revisit that.
That'd be a fun one to go back to. But, yeah, I just wanted to, since we were talking about the animations, like I can't not shout out the studio that we have familiarity on this series with. So that was like a year and a half ago we watched those.
Was that a full year and a half ago?
Yeah, it was like late year 2024.
When we didn't know what we were going to do when Diggy was leaving.
Because someone abandoned us.
Diggy, why did you abandon us?
Yeah, do we have anything else to say about Ramona renting a video?
The only other cool thing I want to mention about video rentals.
I thought you were going to say Rent. I go, there's like nothing cool about Rent. It's not supposed to be cool.
Don't let your brother hear you say that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting bridge between producer and customer in that capacity because, like, think about like Blockbuster, right? Or like, yeah, think about like Blockbuster. Blockbuster for like in the case of like Pokemon Snap, they had that thing that you could bring your Pokemon Snap cartridge in and print off photos that you took in your game. We just don't get shit like that anymore.
No, we don't get anything.
I know
cool.
it's not really related to this. I didn't mention it when we were talking about it, and I have always thought it's really cool.
We also don't have, like this show does, but we don't have a lot of video game tie-ins anymore either. Like this show technically had the EX or X or whatever game.
I'm not sure that it ties into this.
Okay. I think it's like alternate universe again, but like it comes out in the wake of this coming out, whereas like what happened to having movies come out and then a game comes out with it?
Yeah,
like
Prince of Persia. I remember that game.
I think the game came before the movie. I think the movie's based off the game.
Okay.
By like
no,
10 years.
It is so much more complicated than that. There's the original 2D Prince of Persia side scrollers, and then there is the 3D Prince of Persia Sands of Time things. That's that trilogy that they did, and then there's a reboot of it, and then came the movie, but then came another 3D, which is based off of the Sands of Time, but then a movie adaptation, which is based off of the Sands of Time, and the movie came out after that.
I saw that movie in theaters twice.
I am so sorry.
I didn't want to see it either time.
I saw it
I was dragged
once,
to it.
and I was like,
Yeah,
I'd rather watch it all go.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is fine. And then like a week later, my mom's like, we're going again. I said, why? Ugh.
It surprises me that your mom would want to see that twice.
She did. She
must
wanted
really
to.
like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I don't even know if she knows who that is for sure, but she liked that
She
movie.
watched a movie with him in it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean she knows who he is. She might go, oh, okay. But I don't think she went because of him. I think she just liked it enough and wanted to show her friend. And her friend was my friend. Her son was my friend. So it's like, yeah, let's all go. It's like, okay.
And then you're just like, nah, bro.
No, I did, man. Yeah, I sat through that again. Yeah.
Anyway, anybody else got anything to say about Ramona renting a video?
Nope.
All right. So we'll be back at you next week with episode 4. Wow, halfway through already. Can you believe it?
Almost halfway through.
Almost halfway through. So what's episode 4 titled?
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, if you want to check us out before then, you can follow us on all social medias. Jared, what specifically are those?
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, The Funny, TikTok, and Twitter. Take that, Musk. And you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring that notification bell. Make sure you check us out and rate us on all those apps and swing by our groovy website.
And other than that, come on back next week because we, well, right now, anyways, we're going to take off.